Welcome to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and uncover the tactics and strategies top entrepreneurs are using to make more sales, dominate their markets, and how you can get those same results. Here's your host, Dave Woodward.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Funnel Hacker Radio. You guys are going to freak out today. This is going to be one of the funnest podcasts I've done in a super long time, but I have a lot of fun guests. This one is the world's greatest actor-preneur you've ever met, and a guy who I am so excited to bring to our audience. I'm sure if you've ever seen anything as far as, or heard anything like Beauty and the Beast or Phantom, you've heard his voice. This is the #1 Phantom of all time. He's been on Phantom for the last 3 years as the Phantom, leaving Broadway as now an actor-preneur. He was the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. With all that, James Barbour, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
I am so excited to have you. It was so funny. I actually met James for the first time when we were at Grant Cardone's 10X, walking down the hall, and my buddy Keith Yak is like, "Oh man, you got to meet this guy." I'm like, "Dude, I'm having a podcast with him soon. I'd love to go meet him." So it's just great to have you on the show. But most of all, I'm so excited about what you're doing because, people say all the time, well, gosh, you have to start off with this info product and you do these types of things. I'm like, no. You have to understand, ClickFunnels is being used by people in so many different industries, and your industry is like one of the coolest ones. So I'm just going to just dive right into this. Tell people what you're doing and kind of how you're taking this and where you're going with it.
Yeah, well, thanks. The interesting thing about my industry is that, quite frankly, it's one of the most difficult industries in which to survive. That's the entertainment field. And I give a statistic. There are different unions. There's a Screen Actors Guild for film and television, and then there's Actors Equity Association for the professional stage actors. You got all these Broadway performers. Well, there's a statistic that the union for stage actors put out that the top 91 percentile of all professional stage actors make $50,000 a year or less. That's before taxes.
91?
91%. That's the top 90. 69% make $15,000 a year or less before taxes. So I was looking at it and I'm going, man, that's crazy, right? There's only 1% that make over $100,000 a year. 1%. And I am in less than 1/10 of 1% of what I've done. So I looked at it and I look at the fact that there are so many artists out there and so many, people that have these dreams, but they give up their dreams because they can't survive long enough, right? And there are people that teach them how to act and sing and hold a camera and shoot a movie and sew, costumes or whatever, make fashion design, but they don't teach them how to survive. So I created this thing called the Thriving Artist Seminar, where I sort of broke down literally the steps, not the acting, not the this is your resume, this is how you get in, but literally how do you survive? Because even if you're in that 91st percentile of stage actors and you're making after taxes 38 grand a year living in Manhattan, ain't no way you're going to survive. So I looked at it, and I've always been this person to sort of self-start. And the final product that comes out of this seminar is a chapter called Create Something. And it's literally where you take whatever skill set you have and go and create something, right? And then they're like, okay, great, I can do a concert, or I can make a painting, or, I can do this great fashion design, but how do I get people to see it? And I'm like, ClickFunnels, right? But in my industry, they're like, what's that? So I started saying, well, wait a minute, there's an entire world here. Look, even if you just build an email list and you're a singer, right? You can build an email list of really cool stuff by putting out videos and, all this kind of stuff and build your list. And then you announce a concert. If you have enough people, that concert's going to be sold out in one day. Look, heck, I do a concert in New York or, pretty much anywhere where I build. When I put it out, I sell these VIP 20 minutes. And it's because I have enough followers that are interested in what I want to do. And then what I did was I also built this brand called Your Star Power, which was taking.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because I don't think people understand how big of a deal that is. To sell out a concert in 20 minutes off of your own list is absolutely phenomenal. And I know even when we were sitting there at Mandalay Bay, you're like, oh yeah, I do it all the time. It's no big deal. I'm like, whoa, you don't understand what a huge deal that is to sell out a concert in 20 minutes. Just because of the power of a list that you built on ClickFunnels, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, all it is look, you obviously have to drive traffic, right? And you have to provide some sort of service. Well, if the service is there and people are following you, look, if you have somebody who's got 100 followers on some sort of Facebook page, and then you build and you build and you build and you build. Each one of those people tells somebody else, right? So for me, what I did was I realized, like with Phantom, I was in front of 1,600 people 8 times a week for over 3 years. And when I calculated the numbers of people that I've been in front of, it's literally tens of millions of people that are coming to see me. And I went, oh my God, I've had a wasted opportunity, the ability to put something out there to capitalize on it, right? And so that's really what it was, and that's what was empowering for me, because I see these young artists, or even these older artists. Look, I'm going to be 52 in April, right? I have these people that are my age, like, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to go and try to audition. I'm like, well, you can still do that, but look, if you build your following, you're gonna stand yourself in good stead, because then you can cut out that middleman, and you'll be able to do stuff while you're waiting for the next gig, if that makes sense.
James, I'm just so excited. Honestly, I think it's just fascinating, because I run across people all the time who come up with all these excuses. And I think the part I love most is you are like about eliminating every excuse possible, just to go for your dreams. I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, look, I did this video, and I said to people, and I did this survey. I said, I asked like 150, 200 people. I said, do you have a dream? And 99.9% of them says yes. And then I say, okay, well, have you achieved it? And 99% of them say no. Like, there's only like 1%. Yeah, I got my dream. And then I go, why? What stopped you? And it's fear, it's not knowledge, it's whatever it is. And they hit these obstacles, right? So if we can provide them with the tools to go, hey, look, here are the tools that you can do it with. It's not that hard. You'll have to connect the dots and have some coaching and all this kind of stuff. But when I looked at ClickFunnels, dude, and we talked a little bit about the other company that and it was so daunting. And I'm sitting there because I got some people that work with me, but when I first started doing it, I was a one-man band. And I looked at ClickFunnels and I looked at Actionetics, and I was like, and I still have people work with me, like my buddy Michael Duff, who's going to come with me to the event. He has a thing called Duff Web, right? This guy was one of the lead singers of the band Chalk Farm. And he's a techie geek, and he's a ClickFunnels craze guy, right? But if you have the simplicity of what ClickFunnels is, I mean, it literally is just going whoop, 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 boom.
I need to actually trademark those sound effects. Whoop, 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 boop. No, I think, James, the part I love is even because sometimes people make these super elaborate funnels, and you and I were just talking even about your starpower.com. So again, go to yourstarpower.com, YOUR, and then STARPOWER.com. That's his funnel. It's a super simple funnel. Walk people through. I mean, it's what, 2 pages?
It's 2 pages. Yeah. So the whole premise behind that is to unleash the star power within yourself, right? Because, obviously I come from an artistic world, the actor world, the performer world. But everybody I speak to, without question, has always said, oh, I've wanted to do this, or I have this artistic bent within me. If you're a CEO, if you're a network marketer, if you're, a YouTuber, whatever you are your product, right? And so what I said to these people was like, look, when I walk into a room, it's me. I'm not selling an iPhone, right? I'm selling me. So if you're a car salesman and you're selling Fords, the first impression that's going to come up is you with the client, right? So how do you make that first impression? So what your star power is teaching those things that I've learned in my business and taking them into the business world to create stars in your field, whatever field that is. But it's a simple 2-page. It's just a free PDF that lists 3 items. You are your brand, presentation and storytelling, which is basically about communication, because if you can't communicate, then you're not going to be able to sell anything. You're not going to be able to even talk to somebody. And then the third thing is removing the obstacles, because even if you have all these skill sets and you have these obstacles, whether they're mental or physical or, someone saying you can't, that's your dream, you have to be able to remove them so that you can actually go and implement those things. So it's a free PDF. They opt in, boom, there's the email, right? And then a quick thank you page. And so that's all it is. And I'm just capturing leads, and then we'll go out and reach out to them for the bigger programs later. Simple.
I love it. Oh my gosh. It's, again, the whole idea here is just, you got to build your list. That's the most important part we talk about all of the time. I'm so excited to have you at Funnel Hacking Live. For those of you, I'm going to try to see if we can get this posted before. That's actually in 5 days. I don't know if I'll get it posted before then. I'm going to try to, because I want people to see you and meet you while you're there and have heard about you. If I put you on the spot to sing something on my show right now, is that something you can just belt out?
I may not be able to do the whole thing. We haven't even figured out what I'm singing at Funnel Hacker Live.
I know. In fact, I need to get Melanie in here pretty quick because she wants to know that too.
This is the moment, this is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Listen to this one. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play. It's here and now today. That's why I like that song, because take the action now, you know?
Dude, you are just so amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Love having you. Seriously. It's just awesome. Well, as we get close to kind of wrapping things up here for the podcast, anything else you want to make sure people know about or where they can reach out to you? Anything else?
Hey, you know, just go to yourstarpower.com, and you can always go to jamesbarbour.com. That's all my performance stuff. And eventually we'll be running, you know, all of the ClickFunnels stuff through there. But, you know, guys, all I'm going to say to you is this in general, and I run into it every time. Look, I work in one of the most difficult professions in order to succeed. It's not the most dangerous. I'm not out like, you know, our buddy Tim Ballard, who is going to be at the thing, you know, saving lives and things like that. And I'm not a police officer, but it's a really daunting profession. It's the only profession where you can legally discriminate, you know, as an actor. Like I'm, you know, you're 6'4", you can't have the job, you know, because like I'm never going to play Muhammad Ali in a movie. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a pretty tough profession. But all I can say to you is, even if you have a dream, you have that dream, but you have to take action in order to achieve it. And you know, to me, that's the vital thing. Action creates traction. And where you get the action, as far as I'm concerned, is stuff like ClickFunnels. It's implementing these programs that are there for you to help you get to where you want to go. And if I can help you get to where you want to go, that's my thing. I love helping people. Just reach out, and I'm here.
I couldn't say more than that. James, thank you so much.
You got it, brother. Good to see you.
You know, one of the things that means a ton to me is the personal reviews that you guys leave on iTunes. If you wouldn't mind going out, rate the show. Let me know how I'm doing. Just go to iTunes, click on the episode and rate it. Leave a comment. I read all the comments. I appreciate all the stars and everything everyone already left for me. Again, I really appreciate it, and it's my way of finding out how I'm doing. So if you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for all that you guys do. Have a great day.